Hi. The passage for tomorrow is the John 14, 1-14. And I just want to share some thoughts on that particular passage. John teaches us that the Word became flesh and lived with humanity so that we might know the awesome glory, love and favour of God. It's all there, John 1. The invitation into relationship with Jesus is an invitation for an intimate, up-close, personal experience of God. Yet, in our honest moments, we still have questions. Well, if my presence with you is not enough to believe, then listen to what I have been telling you. Listen to my words, Jesus says. Jesus, the living Word, the embodiment of God's creative and redemptive work, continuously gave revelation, continually demonstrated by what he said, by what he did, by his words, revealed God's purpose and power. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry. Whoever believes in me will never thirst. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live, and whoever lives in me will never die. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who abide in me and I in them bear much fruit, because apart from me you can do nothing. Jesus then presents the work of his life as evidence. If what I have taught you aren't good enough, then look at what I've done. Look at my works. Jesus' work of preaching good news to the poor, setting those physically, spiritually, emotionally, politically, mentally captive, he sets them free. Confronting the principalities and powers, he does so in order to liberate the oppressed, the downtrodden, the untouchables in church and society. All that was to reveal God's power at work, restorative power at work, here and now, so that we might fully know God. But the story doesn't end there. Jesus went on to challenge Philip and the other disciples that we would continue the work that Jesus has done. In fact, we would do greater works, not necessarily greater in quality, but the revelation of God in Jesus would be carried outside of their small circle into all the world by them and us. The unity Jesus shared with God, he shared with those who would follow him. And we will continue to be about showing the world something of the living and active God by the love that we have for one another. We were brought into this unified relationship with God through Jesus Christ, not for the purpose of keeping it to ourselves, but so that we might continue the work of God in Jesus Christ. So in the midst of hurt and suffering, in the appearance of death, defeat, in the struggle between doubt and faith, people are crying out, more so now with this pandemic, people are crying out, God, reveal yourself. Where are you? And have we got an answer? In my Father's house there are many dwelling places, Jesus tells his sorrowing disciples, meaning God is roomy, God is generous, God is hospitable. God can handle doubts, God can handle fears and questions, and God's offer of belonging extends far beyond the confines of this life. I go and prepare a place for you. Jesus says as he stands in the shadow of his own cross, you have a place with me, you have a place with God, you have a place. This is a passage for our time. The story, your story, my story, our collective stories of this precarious, overwhelming moment. will not end in death. Though we might feel alone and frightened right now, the way is open before us. We know it. We know Jesus, and because we know Jesus, we know God. The way will safely bear us home. So do not let our hearts be troubled. So are we ready? Are we really ready to show the world? To show the world Jesus? Amen.